launch of the iPhone 7, 8 years ago was the big explosion in terms of mobile technologies. But since then, you've had a very a big expansion of other platforms. So we have iOS, which is obviously iPhone and iPad. We also have Android phones and Windows phones. We very early days picked a cross-platform software package from a company called Accelerator in California, and they do cross-platform development. So we can use code across different platforms. 5 years ago, when we made that decision, people looked at us and said, surely you just want to develop iOS or just Android. Android is coming up. We said, no, if you can develop efficiently across both platforms, then you can position yourself well within the enterprises. And it's been a choice that probably has been one of our key choices, and that technology choice has worked really well. And literally 2 or 3 days ago, Gartner, the IT specialist, announced Accelerator in the sort of top right quadrant of their kind of technologies to watch, alongside IBM and Adobe and people like that. So that was a decision on technologies that we made early that has enabled us to deliver some very efficient products. Now it's moving very much into the wearables, the iBeacons, so it's not about the smartphone in your hand, it's about what that will connect into in terms of as you walk into a retail store or a hotel, or if you're out skiing with your watch, with a GPS on your watch and tracking where you've been, etc. Indeed, Apple are about to announce some very interesting things in the next 24-48 hours, an iWatch or payment processors and things like that, and this is going to further open up the market. It doesn't stand still. The mobile market does not stop, and it's constantly moving forward. So it's going to be very interesting 2 or 3 years ahead, which I couldn't even imagine what's after that. So.
Yeah, the technology's helped shape that. Yeah, that's it. It was really there for us with a bit of research, and again, it's something to highlight to anyone that's thinking of starting their own enterprise or doing their own thing. You don't need to invent something new. You absolutely don't. We didn't invent yoga, and you'll know by looking at me, I didn't invent Zumba. But what we have done is bring all these services together in a unique way. So yeah, we didn't invent these things, but we are the first company worldwide that delivers these in a mobile fashion and has all these experiences under one roof. So again, it's just taking what's out there, see what spin you can put on it, and try and make a business out of that.
Technology, my background is textiles, as I said, so my background is knitted textiles in particular, so I've got a great deal of understanding of the industrial side of manufacturing garments for the knitwear industry, and I'd noticed in particular a particular type of technique and machine that was underutilised within the industry, and for me I spotted that as an opportunity to create a product which was very relevant for the sportswear industry, to do with the construction of the garment. So in the textile industry, there's a shortage of skills because for generations families would go into the industry, and when it became apparent that the industry was actually in decline, many generations prevented their children from going in to work in the knitwear industry, basically because they felt that there might not be a career there. So there's a real shortage of really skilled individuals in how you construct a garment. So when you make a knitted garment, there's 24 processes, and part of the end process is constructing the garment, which is a very, very skilled job. And the equipment, the machine that I use, constructs the whole garment on the machine, so the whole thing is knitted in one piece. So it allows you to not have to worry about that part of the makeup process. And for me, what it also does is it makes a seamless garment, so there are no seams. So for sportswear, that's a fantastic type of product, because you don't want any seams when you're cycling or doing a sport. So the combination of the benefits, both for the wearer and also within the industry, I found quite an exciting opportunity. Also makes a very lightweight garment, and as a cyclist you want lightweight, you want light layers, you want to be able to layer up or layer down. Using performance products, performance raw materials such as merino yarn, all of these things combined together for me make some of the pieces in my collection quite unique and quite special.
Well, the technology as far as the machinery goes is really important for us. It's small scale. In the chocolate industry, you go from very small to millions of pounds worth and massive industrial machinery. So we've had to take what's available. We've had to change it and forgotten the word. But we've had to make it do what we need it to do. The technology, I think, that has been as important as that is testing the chocolate. So it's actually measuring the level of antioxidants. It's measuring the nutrient value. It's all that has been really important, so that we've understood how to treat the beans to make the chocolate and make it healthy, because that's what we're about.
When we first started, I think it was a bit of a wing and a promise. We ordered product from China. It just arrived. We'd done drawings for it, asked it that did this, this, and this. And then this box arrived, and you think, okay, and we sold them. I mean, how naive, really. It did work. Thankfully, it did work. But then we started to get, after about 6 months, 1 or 2 returns with stitching errors. Not the waterproofing, bizarrely, which was my biggest fear. But, you know, waistbands a wee bit frayed at the side, and you think, hang on a minute. We went back to China and said, okay, this isn't great. Can we change it, and can we order more of this size? And they were a bit like, no. Minimum 10,000 now, dear. I haven't got that money. So it forced us to look at our business in a very different way and sit down and go, right, okay, we did okay. No one's died. We're all right. But here we are, you know, a year down the line, and we need to revisit where we get these made. We brought manufacturing back to the UK so that we had some element of control and, you know, ordering far smaller quantities. And that was a real learning curve. Then you've got to find out, where do you get waterproofing that works and under all these temperatures and wearer trials? Where do you get leg elastics, waistbands, bows, all of that? And that, to me, I kind of learned my business back to front and felt kind of pretty lucky I'd got away with it that far. I know it properly now because I have had to order all these components myself. But it's been worth it. And we now use a social enterprise to manufacture the pants in Stirling. And they've learned with us, they're growing with us. They'd never made knickers before. They make boiler suits and life jackets for oil rig workers. They make nurses' uniforms, and they said, we'd love to have a go. Why not? So they practiced and practiced using boiler suit fabric so that they didn't have to waste the waterproofing. And finally they got it, and they've been delivering into John Lewis for us for the last 6 deliveries.
It's not new, social media isn't new, but social media is an incredibly important part of our business for that brand community. Reasons. Recently, we have just purchased a bespoke software system. Because most of our sessions done are outdoors, we don't have a reception desk that the customer can swipe through and see a poster that says, oh, tonight's class is running 5 minutes late. So we can't have 30, 40 women standing in a public park not knowing what's going on. So we need to have a really good way of communicating with our customers. We tried lots of different technologies that were out there to try and get the best fit for us and realised that it didn't exist, so then had to move forward and purchase that ourselves. So we've got a bespoke system that allows our members to book into the classes. They then receive updates through text messages, emails, messages to their Facebook or Twitter accounts. They can then contact the trainers direct. And there's that personal notes section as well, so that, you know, if you've slipped in the bath before coming out but you don't want to announce it to the class, you can put a wee personal note and the instructor can find out without you knowing it. So yeah, there's some of the technology out there is brilliant, and we were using 4 or 5 different pieces of software to solve that problem for us before. Getting this software ourselves means that we've got it all in one house.
The concept of the product was always about getting the weight of the club down to the correct weight to strength ratio for kids, and also the size of the head. So basically we've made the head bigger to make it easier to hit the ball. So the technology that we've embraced is aerospace to make the alloy lighter, which in turn allows you to make the club head bigger. So we worked in partnership with Strathclyde University, with their aeronautical department and also the biomechanical laboratory, to optimise the weight to strength ratio and the size of the club head to make it easier for the kids to play golf. So it's very much about transferring aerospace type technology into the design features of the product to make it easier for the children to swing and hit the ball.